moments will be lost in time. Like tears in
Well, I could see it coming and I hunkered down to wait out the fallout and make it out of town with my hide intact and a tale to tell later on. Cause when you lose your cool and you're feeling sorry at the bottom of the bottle at the end of the party, it's another great night in the life of a fool. Well, you were leaning and weaving and it causing a fray, and I've seen enough bums when they're rushing that way. I had a feeling it was my day for one of those nights when you lose your cool and you're feeling sorry at the bottom of the bottle at the end of the party.
Just assume, no matter what we're doing it with regards to this podcast, Incha is simultaneously doing something else.
Cracking her back, writing a symphony. It could be anything.
Wasn't there one where you were like, what did you think of it, Incha? And Incha, weren't you like, oh, I'm sorry, I was reading something. Like you're just deep in the paper or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Incha, what's your favorite type of sandwich?
Oh, that's hard. Oh, because I'm from
that's a toughie.
Jersey. Fuck.
What do New Jerseyans like sandwiches?
Yeah, I mean we have like the hoagie, which is like the sandwich, I guess, and then we have all the meats and the gabagool.
What do you mean you have it? Well, I mean, we can get hoagies up here.
Yeah, but we're cooler.
Is hoagies like a New Jerseyan thing?
Mhm.
Like, is that like?
Yeah.
Oh.
Turkey and cheese.
Because obviously we got the Philly cheesesteak. That's from
So,
Pennsylvania.
yeah, that's not fucking Philly. It's not you.
Yeah, what do you mean we? Philly proud.
We as a collective world. Sorry, go ahead.
No. Just plain turkey cheese. I liked blackened turkey, like the weird spicy kind of turkey. And cheese with spicy mayo, and that's it.
Sounds really good. Like, are you talking like cold cut turkey or like
Yeah.
leftover Thanksgiving turkey?
No, cold cut turkey.
It's a pretty bland sandwich. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, you haven't had it here.
Yeah, that's true. Like, is there a ton of turkey on it?
Yeah. I just make my own turkeys, dude.
Okay, all right.
You make your own turkey?
Yeah, as soon as I said it, I was just like, Michael's gonna fucking say something about it.
It's like, wait, that's not correct.
What about you, Tim?
Pastrami on rye.
Oh, that's good.
It's got like the sauerkraut. It's got smoked meat. Good. Do you guys got Montreal smoked meat sandwiches down there?
Here?
Well, in general, have you had one?
No.
It's kind of like a pastrami on rye, but a little bit different, and I'm not sure how.
Oh, that sounds good.
It's a good sandwich. Michael, what's your favorite sandwich?
I don't know. I'll fuck with any sandwich, man. They're all good.
What's your favorite meat?
I don't know. It's all good, man. I really can't decide. I've never had to think about what my favorite sandwich is, so I don't know. You know what? I'll go with a humble grilled cheese. and some creamy tomato soup. Come on. To dip in? That's
I don't
a
like
comfort food.
No, I don't like tomatoes or soup.
Well,
Tomato
yeah,
soup.
I'm not offering it to you, you fucking I'm telling you what I like. Whatever you were like, I like pastrami and rye. I was like, I don't like rye bread. Pick something else. Welcome to Film Runners, the podcast where one of us has annoying opinions about sandwiches. No, where one of us chooses a film at least one of the others hasn't seen. We watch it and we talk about it. I am Michael, and this is Inja.
Hello.
And Tim.
Hello.
Hi.
And this episode of Film Runners is sponsored by AshleyKing.art. Check out her art on the internet. She has paintings and, yeah, a lot more paintings. So check out Ashley King Art. That's ASHLEKING.art. /about, and then you can read about her.
Well, two things. One, I hope you were coming up with that off the top of your head and you didn't have it written down, because that was garbage. Two, you misspelled the name Ashley.
Did I?
You forgot to add a Y on the end.
Oh. Yeah, she's an L-E-Y, not like L-E-E or L-E-I. L-E-Y, the normal way of spelling Ashley. King.art.
Who does an E-E? Ashley Simpson?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's right.
It's one of those famous people that had a sister.
Yeah, because Ashley.
Gotta be her.
Because Ashley Olsen is Ashley's Ashley with a L-E-Y, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mary Kate
sure.
and Ashley. Yeah.
Yeah. Gotta be Ashley. Classic Michael pick this week.
Yes.
Michael, what did you pick for your classic Michael pick?
Oh, Jesus. Did somebody fall over?
No.
Oh, there's a loud muffled sound.
Yeah, I heard it too.
I chose A History of Violence from 2005, directed by David Cronenberg, starring Viggo Mortensen and Maria Bello and William Hurt and Ed Harris. It's about, a small town dude who... Does he own it or just run it? He has a diner, anyway.
It's named after him, so I hope he owns it.
Oh, is it?
Mm-hmm,
Okay.
yeah.
Yes,
Then he
Stahl's
better
Diner.
own it. Right. He, just a normal dude with a wife and two kids, and then a couple of no good drifters come in and try to rob the place, and he ends up killing their asses, and it makes national news because he saves all the people in the diner. And then some other shady characters come to town and believe he might be a person named Joey.
Ooh.
Yeah, and Tim's, you saw it when it first came out, right?
Yeah, but not since.
Right. And Insha, you had never seen it before.
Nope.
So, Tim, what did you think revisiting this 15 years hence?
Honestly, I remember the gist of this movie, but not a lot of the gory details of it. So it was somewhat new to me a little bit, but I remember really, really liking this movie when I saw it the first time, and I still really like it. I think it's a good story. I think there's a couple of things that this movie does outside of what I would expect from a normal movie, which I think is cool. And we'll get into it in a little bit, but it's really good. I like it.
Insha, your thoughts?
I thought it was okay. I liked some parts of it. Like, I kind of weaved in and out of paying attention, not paying attention, paying attention, not paying attention. Especially like for the slow parts, and there were a couple of scenes that I really loved that got me to focus a little bit more on what was happening. But yeah, I thought it was okay.
So by you saying that you weaved in and out, it didn't hook you enough to keep you paying attention to it? Is that like you thought it was a little bit bored?
I was bored in the beginning because it's weird because I understand the setup to it, and I understand what it was trying to do, and I understand like the cross between like being non-violent and being violent and then coming back to a life and stuff like that. But I'm just like, I need for somebody to be shot again. I need let's go. And there was one character where I was just like, I don't think you belong here at all. She's beautiful, but I don't think she belongs here. And but yeah, it's like some parts very much hooked me, but then some parts I could have left by the wayside. Like I wasn't bored, but it's like some things I could have done without, if that makes any sense.
So which character could you do with that?
Maria Bello.
The wife?
What are you talking about?
No, because I liked her. I do, but like I feel like she's way too like sultry to be here. Like I was like, I really like you, I just don't feel like you belong here. Like, you belong in the mobster world. Like, you don't belong with Viggo Mortensen raising a family on a farm. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's, I don't know. That's only my opinion.
That's so weird.
Yeah, I
Like,
find that odd too. Because I wouldn't say she was. I think she has a similar development to Vigo in the movie, in that,
she
like,
goes
I
real
could
bad.
see, yeah, a little bit. Like, I could see that case, like when she lies to the cop, and then when they have that rough sex on the stairs. Like, I get that point of view for that, but like at the beginning of the movie, I mean, to get into it, like, the two, it's just wild to me. Also, being bored by parts of it, because it's like hour and a half long, and it's like every 30 minutes there's a gruesome shootout.
And that's the parts that I was like, I actually picked my head up and I was like, ooh, things are happening. But then other parts, I'm just like, okay, well, he's talking now.
I will say, like, Viggo Mortensen would be very good in like a John Wick type movie, like with the gruesome deaths and shooting people all the time.
Yeah, I like that he had an interesting style too. Like, I really liked in the first two shootouts, like when he kills the guy in the diner, and then he confronts Ed Harris and his goons, that he has a thing where once he like eliminates the what he thinks is the last one, he quickly looks back to make sure the other guy's still dead. Like, he does it in both of those, and it's a very fun, like, signature move.
Smart move too. Sorry, and Michael, we jumped over your initial impressions, but how about you give them?
Yeah, I think it's great. One of my favorite movies of all time. Easily, like, top 20 of the, like, 21st century, I think. It's always stuck with me as just, like, you know, it's Cronenberg playing it pretty straight, which, you know, he's done a couple times. Like, Dead Zone's fairly, other than the psychic powers, it's pretty, it's not...
He gets a couple of body horror shots, though, in there.
Yeah, in the same... you mean the 69 scene?
Well, no, I was talking about, what's his name? Stephen McCaddy. His face blowed up on the floor.
Yeah. Friend of the show, Stephen McGatty. Yeah, he does. But I think it's, you know, I like that it's short, straightforward. I think the acting in it is fucking amazing. Like, I think it's Viggo Mortensen's best performance. It's always stuck with me, the part where, because once Ed Harris and his goons come to the town, they keep trying to get him to admit that he's actually Joey from Philadelphia. And he's like, no, I'm Tom. Like, I'm Tom. And then they confront him on his front lawn, and they have, like, his son there. And you can, like, physically see Tom turn into Joey. And it's just a really impressive bit of acting from Viggo. Like, he looks like two entirely different characters.
Oh, I know. Like that. I agree. I remember that scene the first time I watched it too, and it's just, yeah. Something he does with his eyes and his face, it just like becomes evil.
Yeah, he has like a snarl. Like, after his son shoots Ed Harris, and then he gets up and like takes the gun from him, and he's got blood on his face and like a snarl, and he looks like a completely different character than the like soft-spoken one we've been watching for the first part of the film. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just got all the right shit in it that I love. Yeah, so that's my impression.
Yeah. One thing I said, I was kind of saying this a little bit in my first impression, but I got into wait. This does a couple of one thing that I like I would have expected from this movie, where when the first two people come into town, you think, okay, they're probably like the bad guys, and they get offed within 30 minutes, and then you have the second very bad guys. He's like, oh, here's the real bad guys, and then they get offed another 30 minutes later, and then you find out the real bad guy is his brother at the end, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if I watched too much like Fargo, and I expected like that kind of scene at the beginning where they were doing the first robbery, and it's like, okay, here's the bad guys throughout the entire movie.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it is funny that it is like every 30 minutes there's like a different set of villains that Tom has to dispatch. My first note is, speaking of, I like that opening, speaking of those goons at the beginning, that opening tracking shot at the hotel, or motel, or Holiday Inn. When the younger goon, when he sends him back inside to get water, and he checks the payphone for coins. I like that little detail.
I thought you were like the shot out front too, like with the car where it inches forward a little bit, that sideways shot.
Yeah, that shot rules. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Mhm.
So the other thing that I wrote down about kind of a movie as a whole is this, like we've watched Dead Zone and we've watched Dead Ringers, which are another two of Cronenberg movies, and they were shot in the 80s. But this has a very like 80s directorial feel to it, if that makes sense. Like it feels like it was like if you told me this came out in the 80s, I'd believe it.
Yeah, like I think especially story-wise too, it feels like the type of movie that could have been made in the 70s or 80s. And I think Cronenberg, even though, you know, just looking at it, you can tell it was shot in the 2000s. But you could very easily, if you like roughed up a print of it, I could see why you could tell. Because Cronenberg's just got that kind of sensibility, I guess. Mm-hmm. I do like, I want you guys, I want your opinions on it. So there's, every once in a while, like on Twitter or social media or something, a take will start going around. Basically like, there's no such thing as a good sex scene in a movie. They're all pointless and unnecessary, and they don't do anything, which on its face is silly, because they're just as useful as any other type of scene in a movie. They can be good, they can be bad, they can be useless, but they're not inherently anything. But I think this movie is a perfect example of sex scenes being used for characterization. Like, the two between Vigo and Maria Bello are really good points of, like, comparison of the difference between Tom and Joey, and the difference between their life then and their life as it currently is during the second sex scene, like, in turmoil.
I hated both of them.
You hated them?
I actually liked both of them.
Yeah, they're great. They're great.
I thought they were so awkward. And that's the only
They are.
I can give
I don't disagree. The first one is like kind of awkward and kind of adorable and kind of almost like childish, because they're doing like a teenager like role play thing. And
what have you done with my wife?
Ready? Okay. Go wild!
No wives in here, mister.
Wow.
Quiet, my parents are in the next row.
You're naughty.
And then
Yeah,
contrasting it to the later one is I don't know, interesting.
It's just the first one, when they start in that 69 position, it starts. It was just so awkward. I did not want to see that part of a sex scene. I don't know why.
Well, it cuts out pretty quickly after that. But...
Yeah. And then the second one, I wrote down, how awkward would it be to have sex on the stairs? Like, it looks like they're just going to fall down at any moment.
It did look very uncomfortable, actually.
But
apparently, later in that scene, they had to put makeup on Maria Bella's back to cover most of the bruises that she got from shooting that.
But yeah, I do agree with you. Like, it is a contrast on those. I didn't like them just because I didn't like the way that made me feel when I watched the movie, which was awkward.
Like you were gonna get it. Like you were gonna get in trouble.
Like, oh, I shouldn't be watching this.
Yeah, I thought it was weirdly. Both of them are awkward and sort of intimate in a way you rarely see in a.
Yeah, it was like voyeuristic in some way, right?
Yeah, I think because it was sort of too realistic. It wasn't glossy like Hollywood sex scene.
Right.
So yeah, I get what you're saying. I think it is supposed to kind of make you a little uncomfortable both times, especially the second time where it starts out with them fighting.
You see him at the bottom of the stairs too, with just sitting there with his dick out.
Yeah,
you're like, yeah, I'm done.
Did my job. Out of here. I've seen Viggo Mortensen's. I'm trying to think. have I seen his dick more, or have I seen Julianne Moore's vagina more? They both love taking it out for movies. Have you guys seen, what is it, Captain Fantastic?
No.
No.
Well, he hangs hog throughout almost that entire movie. He's like a guy who raises his children in off the grid, and then his wife dies, and then they sort of have to go back to her. They travel back into civilization to her parents because they won't let him like give her the funeral that she wants. But anyway, so because he's like, you know, a forest guy, he just hangs out naked a lot.
Just in the forest so the birds can see him.
Yeah, so the birds can see him. He was showing off to the birds.
Here's a question for you guys. So Viggo Mortensen has a line with his wife where she asks where Tom Stahl come from, and he says it was available. It was an available name. Do you think he killed Tom Stahl?
I hope so.
I don't know. I don't know if the implication is that he killed a guy named Tom Stahl, or a guy named Tom Stahl died and he took it.
Right.
But then how would he... Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he did kill a guy named Tom Stahl. He may have, he very well could have.
Yeah, I think he killed Tom Stahl. Guys, I think we cracked it.
Good for him.
I don't know. But I guess it would depend on where he was at that moment.
Killing Tom Stahl.
No. What I mean is where he was at when it came to his relationship with being a fucking killing machine. In that, like, him running away from Philly. Although I guess he ran away because he caused trouble. He didn't run away because he was done killing. He was done killing after he got, like, his family. You know?
Right.
Because they don't say he left Philly. Because they said he left Philly because he tried to take out Ed Harris, right?
Yeah.
He was like a made guy.
Here's a question.
So it wasn't like he had a sudden burst of conscience, right? So yeah, maybe he did. He did kill Tom Stahl. I'm gonna say he killed Tom Stahl.
So here's another question too. The timeline of this is kind of weird. Like,
is it?
Because how old do you think Viggo is in this movie? Like 45?
Yeah, 45.
So if he's 45, and how old do you think his oldest kid is? Like 15?
Yeah, 15, 16.
15, 16, yeah.
15, yeah. So that means he was only in the mob until he was 30, and then that's when he got his conscience?
I would say probably younger even. Because I think it would be a closer split. Because remember, William Hurt's like, you've been Tom Stahl almost as long as you were Joey or whatever.
Right. So like more like 23 or something.
Yeah, 25 maybe.
Yeah.
Well,
And he's been Tom Stahl for 20 years.
Yeah, it just seems like he was like they make it sound like he was at least somewhat high up in the mob.
I don't think so.
You don't?
No, I think he was more like a goon, like an enforcer kind of guy. Because they said he was always like the crazy one or whatever. I think Richie, William Hurt's character, he was the one who had aspirations to be higher up in the mob, and he had to pay the price of Joey fucking things up for him. So it took him a long time to get higher up, you know?
Right.
I don't know. I don't think it was ever implied that Tom was a big person. I think he was just well known, probably because, you know, as we can see, he's a fucking killing machine.
Right. All right.
It is so funny how in all three bursts of violence, how, other than the middle one, I guess, the son has to finish that one, but it's pretty easy. Like the final shootout, he pretty much kills everybody immediately.
That's why I think like Viggo would be great in maybe not now, but back then in like a John Wick style movie.
Yeah, I think he's like 60 something now.
Yeah, but he's like an action star. Like he got to be Aragorn, but he like.
Yeah, you're right. I think, yeah.
I wanted to see him cap more dudes in like a fast-paced action, like with a machine gun.
All right, relax. I think he just likes, you know.
I just think he should have been in a Fast and the Furious movie.
No.
He likes to adopt horses. That's for sure.
Hidalgo.
Hidalgo, exactly.
do know that too. But I could buy him a lot though in this movie as like a dad. He plays a very good, just regular dad dude.
Yeah, that's why, like I said, I think it's his like best performance, because totally 100% buy him as just like a small town father, like, you know, just some normal dude running a diner. And then once he switches to kill mode, he's believable there too. He's just like believable as a real badass.
No?
No.
You didn't find him believable as a badass?
I didn't find him believable. I found him believable as a badass. I didn't find him believable as a dad.
Oh.
I just I'm gonna get shit for this. I didn't like Viggo Mortensen in this.
What didn't you like about him?
Everything. I don't know. I feel like Viggo Mortensen as an actor is so like he's stalled to me, if that makes any sense. Like it's just like it feels like he's thinking about what he needs to do before he actually does it. But there was one thing that I did like in this movie where you can see Joey come out, was after his kid kills Ed Harris, like that look on his face. I like that. Because I'm just like, you can see him like trying to muscle the Tom Joey side of him into being like, should I comfort my son or should I murder my son?
Okay, here's the thing. I was joking about you reading while we're doing this earlier, but we literally had this conversation already.
I know, and I didn't say anything, but I really like that scene, so I'm going to talk about it again.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's fantastic.
But that was the only scene you liked. But that was the only scene that you liked him in?
Yes. Oh, and the sex scenes.
So you just want a supercut of that scene and the two.
Honestly, I would prefer it, to be honest with you. Oh, and when he's like murdering a bunch of people, like the last
at the very end,
the last like bits of it are honestly my favorite parts of the movie, because it's just like blasting dudes away and crushing a dude's neck, and I'm just like, if more of this was throughout, I'd be honored to watch this.
It is wild when he stomps on that guy's neck.
Oh, yeah.
So that brings me to William Hurt as Richie, his brother. I think he's fucking hilarious and great in it. He even got an Oscar nomination for like being in the movie for like 8 minutes or something.
Did he really? Like supporting actor?
Yeah.
Wow. Good.
But what did you guys think of William Hurt?
I mean, I thought he was great. I liked his monologue at the very end when he's talking to, the only scene he's really in.
Yeah. his one scene.
His monologue's so good.
Oh, it's so good, and he's got like these like tears in his eyes while he's doing it. Like he knows he's got to kill his brother, but I guess he has to for some stupid reason.
Yeah, some mob shit reason.
Yeah, his entire monologue was fantastic.
What am I gonna do? You bust up a made man's place. You kill some of his guys. You take his eye. Jesus, Joey, you took his eye. Barbed wire, wasn't it? That's disgusting. You always were the crazy one.
Not anymore.
Yeah, I heard. You're living the American dream. You really bought into it, didn't you? You've been this other guy almost as long as you've been yourself. Hey, when you dream, are you still Joey?
Joey's been dead a long time.
And yet here you sit, big as life. You know you cost me a lot of time and money. Before you pull that shit with Fogarty, I was a shoo-in to take over when the boss croaked. A shoo-in. It was made very clear to me, Joey, I had to clean up your mess, or nothing was ever gonna happen for me. You got no idea how much shit I had to pull to get back in with those guys. You cost me a hell of a lot, Joey. A hell of a lot.
Looks like you're doing all right over here.
Yeah, I am. I'm still behind the 8 ball. Because of you.
Yeah, what did you think of him, Misha?
I loved him. I
Yeah.
kind of wish he was there a lot more, but I understand why he wasn't. But again, like the monologue, that was when I really paid attention. It's almost the ending, but that's when I really, really, really liked it. I was just like, oh, like you're hurt, but I mean, I get why you also want to kill your brother. You've been trying to do all of this for so long that he just messes it up for you. But I loved him.
I think Vigo's really good. He doesn't say a lot in that scene, but I think they're both very good at expressing their history together well, even with just, like you said, Tid, with like the kind of having tears in their eyes and like very tense kind of shit. Like, I think they're both good at communicating that they have a history together. And like, even at the end when he shoots him in the head and he's like, Jesus, Joey, and then he shoots him and he's like, Jesus, Richie.
What sucks though is that like he's been gone for, let's say, 25 years or 20 years from the mob, and he hasn't been causing him any shit. Like, it has his first, let's say, 10 years of life, like, did he screw up so much that then another 25 didn't cut him some slack?
No, I think what it was, when he made the news, Ed Harris recognized him and was like,
Right.
That's Joey. That's the guy who tried to fucking kill me and he ruined my eye. So he goes down there to, like, get revenge for it.
Right.
So, and then...
But that's not Joey's fault. Like,
How is it not Joey's fault?
Joey was just trying to run his diner in peace, away from everybody. It was Ed Harris's fault for coming in and screwing it up.
But it was Joey's fault for... Ed Harris doesn't care about him popping those two goons. He doesn't give a shit about that. I don't think they were related to the mob in any way at all.
No, I
Ed
don't
Harris.
think so.
Yeah, Ed Harris wants revenge for Joey
eye
almost
thing.
killing him. Yeah.
And
So he
fucking up
goes
his
down to
face
get
for
that
it.
revenge. And then instead he gets killed. And then I think that's when William Hurt has to... Because Ed Harris was like a high up dude.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like, he says that Joey keeps screwing it up for him. But
Yeah.
that really... But him killing Ed Harris really wasn't Joey's fault. Like, he didn't screw it up. What he screwed up was 20 years ago.
Yeah, of course. But he's not... He means screwed up in that, like, he still exists and he is annoyed that, like, he has to do this. Not that it's literally his fault.
I know, but cut him some slack.
Oh,
Just let him go back to the
you're
diner.
right. Yeah, this mob boss
slack.
should be a little more reasonable. He should look at both sides of the issue. I do like, speaking of William Hurt still, I remember the first time watching it when Stephen McHattie was at the beginning, because I love him, and I was like, oh, fuck yeah. And then he, like, dies so quickly, and I was like, no. And then Ed Harris shows up and is like, takes the place as the villain, and I was like, fuck yeah, Ed Harris, I love him. And then he dies, and I'm like, no. And then William Hurt's in the end, and I'm like, fuck yeah, I love William Hurt. So it does a good job of, like, killing off great character actors, but replacing them with equally great character actors.
100% agree. And I mean, while I liked every single one of the quote-unquote villains in this movie, it was fun seeing all three. Like I would... I don't know if I would want all of them for an entire movie.
No, I think it's pretty perfectly paced. And like Incha said, you know, it would be great to see William Hurt doing this character for more scenes, but I think it would lessen the impact. Like, it's pretty perfect the way it is now.
All right, speaking of Ed Harris, I think we need to rename our show Ed Harris or Ed Hairless, because where we go through every form of Ed Harris media, because I think he has been in 5-6 episodes of Film Runner so far. He's in every single movie we picked.
Ed Harris
Are those just
rules.
ones? Are those ones we've done with you? Because he's been in other ones beforehand.
Oh, maybe he has. I think so.
He was in Knight Riders, which I think that was pre-Tim.
That was, yeah. But I mean,
That was with. Wait, hold on. I'm gonna say that was when he was on the show, and then I'll bleep out the name.
But he was in.
We legally can't say it.
He was in last week's episode of
he's in
The Rock. Gone Baby Gone. He's been in
yeah,
Pain and Gain.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
He's been in. He was in something else we watched recently too. Well, maybe he wasn't, but at least 3.
Yeah, he. I mean, that just goes to show the quality of films that he chooses. Ed Harris or Ed Hairless. Shut up.
I mean, we can come up with another name later, but that's the best I could come up with now.
Wait, now I'm getting a flashback with Ed Harris or Ed Hairless. Insha, when we did the Knight Riders episode, did I
you make that say, Jack?
Did I? No, I think I had a game about that, where I gave the movie and asked whether Ed Harris was bald in it or wearing a hairpiece.
That sounds right.
Yes,
What?
yes, you
That's
did.
right.
Yeah.
Maybe that's where I came up with Ed Harris or Ed Harris.
I was getting such weird deja vu when I said it back to you. I was like, "That's stupid," and then I was like, "Why is that so familiar to me?" Damn it! I have a game for this. If you guys would like to play it now, or did you want to?
I'm up for it.
Yeah.
Okay. So the game is called Ed Harris or Ed Hairpiece. Silly. Anyway, check out Knight Riders. That's a great episode and a fantastic movie as well. Back to this.
Ed Harris, as always, is very good as a calm and scary person. Like, he doesn't raise his voice at all. He is not evil in any way, but I am immediately scared of him.
He's very menacing in the mall, and he's really just sitting on a bench talking to Maria Bello.
He is doing nothing but sitting there being a very cordial, polite person.
He even points out where a kid ran off to.
Right.
Also,
I do not want him near me.
The fucked up eye really suited his face.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
Like
yeah, it looked really good.
The makeup in the eye is so good on his face.
Yeah, it made me want another movie where he played a character who looked exactly like that.
Just give me a movie where he's in the mob doing stuff.
Yeah, give me a spin-off with this character, and then it ends with him being like, seeing Vigo on the news.
History of Violence 0, more history, even more.
even further back in the history of violence. It's a clunky title, we admit, but there was originally a dream sequence that got cut of Vigo being in the diner with Ed Harris, and he blows him away with a shotgun, and Ed Harris's like chest is all gruesomely exposed, and then he raises back up and shoots Tom to death. And allegedly they were suggesting on set that he pull the gun out of the cavity in his chest as like an homage to Videodrome, and Cronenberg was like, no, we're not doing that. Should they have kept that scene in? Would that have held your attention more?
Yes. No, I don't know.
Stop reading.
The bully had a little bit of an overreaction for the son just catching a pop fly.
That was so stupid.
It's so funny. It's so funny. It's so funny because you know what? It is very stupid, but it's like that's what most bullying is. Because like when he's like confronting him in the locker room, it's like, why are you doing this, man? Like what did he do? Nothing.
No.
It's like gym. It wasn't even a game. Like I could see if it was like
Team Yellow won. Woo.
Yeah. I could see if it was like, you ruined my season by being on the other team and beating us. But it wasn't that. It was gym. It was a recreation game. It's insane.
So dumb.
Like, what? Was there a baseball scout there during your fucking gym practice? We're talking about practice. Come on.
I thought there was going to be more to him, too. Like, obviously the son beats him up later and shows that there is a history of violence or a future of violence. And, but, like, he made an offhand comment at the beginning with the two goons coming by, and he says, who are they? And I don't know. And I don't want to know. It kind of sounded like there was going to be something there, but...
Yeah, I think it was just showing, like, oh, you could tell these are bad men.
Yeah.
Like, even the bully could tell. But yeah, I agree. I think the bully's whole point... I could have used... That's one of the things that... even though I wouldn't touch the movie, but like Insha was saying, a couple scenes that you could have lost, you could have cut the bully down a bit, and I wouldn't be sad about that. Like, you could have cut some of his stuff down. But I did like when the son beat the shit out of him.
Yeah.
I was like, man, if you could fight like that, why weren't you beating up this bully, like, from the beginning? Because he really goes to town on that guy.
Yeah, I mean, for the entire movie, the movie makes him out like a wiener. Like, apparently he's
I don't think not a wiener. I think I don't think he was made out to be a wiener.
A little bit of a wiener.
At the beginning, he even says that he's like, "Oh, I'm just gonna screw it up in right field again." Like, he sounds like he thinks he's a bad baseball player.
Does that make someone a wiener?
Well, and his other wienerish man. That's just
okay,
point one.
Fair enough. So you're like, I got a whole fucking list, man. Fair enough.
So, like, for him to have, the future of violence in him.
That's not. Don't say that like it's a thing.
It is a thing, though.
It's not a thing. That's not a thing. I don't know. I guess I didn't find. I mean, I found him a little bit annoying as a character just because he was whiny, but I wouldn't call him wienerish because he did like stand up to the bully using his brain early on. So I didn't find
again
that very
wiener.
wienerish. No, it was annoying because it was just like the dialogue wasn't quite there. It was dumb, but I don't know. I didn't find him that wienerish.
I honestly, I didn't really like either of the kids all that much.
What did the little girl do?
I just didn't think she was very good.
She wasn't. No.
She doesn't even do anything.
Yeah, that's the problem.
That's the problem.
Oh, you wanted a storyline involving like a 4-year-old girl?
Yeah, give her the future of violence.
Stop saying that like it's a thing.
But if you think about like other movies where you have the youngest girl kid be like the cute one, if you think about like something like Dan in real life, like she had more going on than this girl.
But she didn't need anything going on. That's the thing, is that I don't need a storyline involving the little girl. She's unimportant. Her only important relationship is to her parents and how it affects them.
We needed something from the little girl.
No, we didn't. We didn't need anything from her. Should we have gotten a storyline for the fucking short order cook at the diner?
I mean, we did.
He had a storyline.
We did. Yeah, we got a little bit from him.
He married that girl.
Yeah.
That's not a storyline. That's
Riveting.
just a story he tells.
That was riveting. Like 5 minutes of dialogue, and then this little girl just doesn't even carry a film. Shameful. Shameful.
I did like that story. Like, it was good. I did like that short of a cook, and we got a little bit of backstory on him.
It was a funny story. It was a nice little story. A part that annoyed me. So I know the truck was busted, but they had another car, right? They had the one car.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I get that, like, she might need it to go to work. But Viggo Mortensen just got stabbed in the foot, like, a few days. How much earlier? Like, a week earlier, tops. And they make him walk to work in the morning?
Did he? Like, I remember he ran home from work.
I thought
you see him set it,
got dropped off.
No, because you see him walk out from their driveway, because you can see the why don't I know the word for that? Mailbox with stall on it, and he's walking down the road, and then you see him, and then it cuts to like in town, and he's walking to the store, and he's in the store, and then he has to run home because he doesn't have his fucking car there.
Did he?
Because it would be dumber if he had the car there.
So that was before. I don't remember that, but I thought he got dropped off because they only had the one car, and that's why he ran home.
No, you see him start walking out, like, in the morning.
Oh, okay. Maybe I just missed it.
Yeah, I was like, that's so rude. Why would you do that to him? Because even if he wasn't running, like, that thing's going to be a pain by the time he gets there.
See,
he ran pretty fucking fast, though, for somebody going against a car.
I was more annoyed with the cop coming up and saying that, have you got the car running? And he says, oh, I might later, or it will eventually. And then it just works.
Well, but that's what he said, though.
I know, but give me a scene. Give me the scene where he fires it up.
I wanted more struggle.
Your fucking movies would involve nothing but like the ins and outs of car engine repair, while a fucking little girl has the biggest storyline, epic storyline of all time. Your movie sounds bad.
Called The Future of Violence.
Future violence.
there's one of the scenes that I really like as well is when after his son beats up the bully, he comes home and Vigo's yelling at him and says that they don't solve their problems by hitting, and then he immediately slaps him.
Yeah.
So I like that one, and that's another one. Where...
I like that one. That's a good one. Put that in the good column.
But
No, I agree. That was a good scene.
No, and it just shows. I think he had already met the people, or maybe he already killed William Hurt at that point. But I don't know. It just shows another point of like Joey coming out of Vigo.
No. He that was when he killed. That was before he killed Ed Harris's people.
Right.
Yeah.
But I still think it showed that like.
No. Well, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Like Vigo has a history of violence at that point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because he had killed the diner folk, but and he was stressed out by Ed Harris showing up. So yeah, it was definitely Joey popping out. I forgot to mention it, I think, when we were talking about William Hurt, but I laughed so hard at how fucking annoyed William Hurt is that his goons fucked up killing Viggo Mortensen. Like, even the one that's like gurgling on his own broken neck blood on the floor. He's like, "How'd you fuck that up?" when they, yeah, it's so good.
You said it earlier, but it is a very funny scene too. Like he's very funny in it.
He is very funny. Yeah.
He has some sort of weird accent going on too, or his mannerism of talking is just really interesting. I found.
Yeah. His voice makes me laugh. Just his accent alone. Like when he's talking about how, what's Ed Harris's name? Fogarty or whatever. When he's like, Fogarty said it smelled like pig. How would he know what a pig smells like? It's just so funny.
Fogarty thought you live on some kind of farm. Said he could smell pig. How that old fart would know what a pig smells like, I don't know, but that's what he said.
Any more notes?
The only one I had was that the wife threw up very quickly after finding out that Viggo Mortensen was actually Joey.
Which isn't that big of a fucking deal. I mean, like, it is in retrospect.
Yes, it is.
It is. But at the same exact time, be like, ask more questions instead of immediately throwing up. And also, like, your husband killed people. That's kind of cool. Maybe get some stories out of that.
Well, here's the thing. No, it isn't cool. Second of all, what do you mean ask questions before throwing up? I'm pretty sure she didn't decide, like, oh, I plan on throwing up right now. I think it was an involuntary reaction.
Kind of felt like it was planned, but okay, that's good.
Can you throw up on command?
Yes.
Oh god.
I thought I don't know. I agree with Incha. It was just really quickly. Like it wasn't even like 0 to 60, and it was out.
Yeah. I don't know. That makes sense to me. Like if you get a gut reaction, it just happens right away. Like I don't know what. I think it would have been dumb and over dramatic if it was like, oh god, built up. Like it was just like a sudden physical reaction to some horrible news. Incha, any more notes?
My only one is I want Ed Harris in a Martin Scorsese movie. That's about it.
Oh yeah, he'd be good in a Martin Scorsese movie.
Which type of Martin Scorsese movie?
All of them. Any of them. I don't care which one it is.
Oh, haven't you heard, Tim? He only makes one kind of movie. Gangster movies for boys.
He would be good in a gangster movie for boys.
I agree. He'd be great in a gangster movie for boys. No girls allowed.
Like, if you have, like, Ed Harris in, like, this makeup with that eye, and he's going around collecting payments, I'd be happy with it.
Yeah, I agree. He'd be good in a Scorsese movie. Surprised he hasn't worked for Scorsese.
You know what Ed Harris was also good in? He was good in Planes 2, Fire and Rescue, where he made a cameo.
But now I know you're just a cameo. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, oh, oh. Now I know you're just a cameo. Oh, oh, oh.
Did he make a cameo in Planes 2, Fire and Rescue?
He's on the list of cast members, so...
Does that count as a cameo?
I don't think he was a big part in it.
He was there.
All right. That makes me sad that Ed Harris was in Planes 2.
He played Blade Runner, a veteran fire and rescue helicopter. He used to play a police helicopter in Chops with Nick Lupin Lopez, but became a firefighter when Nick died.
What the fuck is the story? Planes 2.
Fire and Rescue? I have no idea. Stars Dane Cook and Stacy Keach.
Oh, God.
Brad Garrett and Terry Hatcher. What a weird cast for
That's a bonkers cast.
an animated movie. Anyways, it's a Incha cameo.
It is, yes. And I chose an actor that's not in this movie, but Jake Busey.
Is he related to Gary?
Nope.
He's his son.
Actually, yeah, he's a son.
Yeah, he is, famously.
I thought you were going to be like, is he related to Ed Harris? And I was going to be like, no. So his bio is chaotic. It says actor, films, hashtag Starship Troopers, hashtag The Frighteners, hashtag Contact, hashtag The Predator, hashtag Stranger Things, hashtag From Dusk Till Dawn, hashtag Identity, hashtag Mr. Robot, hashtag Xmas with Cranks, hashtag Swamp Thing, and many others I can't remember. Oh yeah, hashtag Tomcats.
Was
Just
he in
link
From
to your
Dusk Till Dawn?
IMDb. The TV show.
Yeah.
The
Oh.
recent TV show.
Lame.
He typically
think
responds within 5 hours. He has 20 reviews, all 5 stars. I could not find a bad one in the bunch. And he has 61 people in his fan club.
What would I know him in? Like, I know...
Hashtag
Starship
Starship
Troopers.
Trooper.
Starship Troopers.
He was the guy who gets the knife in his
hand?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he plays the like neon green violin later. Blonde hair, huge Gary Busey teeth.
Maybe I haven't seen Starship Troopers in a long time.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe you wouldn't recognize him. He's been in a bunch of stuff.
I mean,
Yeah.
saying that he's Gary Busey's son, I guess, makes sense, but
What do you mean it makes sense?
that he's famous.
Oh, okay. Nepotism. I was like, what could you possibly mean by it makes sense? I think this is an interesting one because I think his cameos would probably be pretty entertaining.
Yeah, the ones that I saw, they made me laugh so hard.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
And there was one review that I thought was really sweet, but at the same exact time, I was just like, I want to know what he put in his cameo. So it says, wow, thank you so much, Jake, for your kind video. I'm so sorry you suffered too with pancreatitis. I was diagnosed with chronic pancreatitis. Age 13, I'm now 47, and would get stones stuck in there. I never drank. My late uncle, who was a character actor from Texas and did a show with your dad, Dennis Berkeley, once said to me, so this is as good as you're ever gonna feel? So, 30 years ago, the pain got too bad and I had a pancreogenostomy, whatever, which turned out to be from hell. But thanks so much for sharing your story. You cheered me up.
What the
What
fuck?
the fuck?
Yep.
I feel like I violated some sort of Dr. Patient confidentiality just listening to that.
That's too much.
Yeah.
That's too much info.
Yeah.
Well, now that makes me do wonder what he was talking. Like, was he talking about his pancreatitis in someone's cameo?
Maybe. But the weird thing is, that guy must have asked him to talk about that.
Yeah, he had to
'Cause there's
have
no
written the
way.
request for that. Like,
Yeah,
I
'cause
suffer
there's
from
no way-
pancreatitis, so please make me feel better.
There's no way Jake Busey would just all of a sudden mention pancreatitis and happen to mention it to a guy who also suffers from it. This guy loves talking about his pancreatitis way too much. Weird. Although he may have just seen like a Jake Busey interview where he mentioned that he had it and he was like, hey, I have that too. So he mentioned it in the request.
And then mentioned
It couldn't have been a video just to talk about that, because that would be insane.
Maybe. Wow.
Maybe it was. I don't
I
know.
want to know more about this guy. But
Yeah, I'd pay $300 for a cameo from this dude.
All right, so prices?
I'm just gonna say, like, I feel bad because, like, I don't really know him all that much, so I don't know his value. So I'm gonna say like $50.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's fair, but I'll go. I think I did 80 last time, but I think I got to do 80 again.
Okay. Final choices?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can request a cameo from Jake Busey at, both of you are wrong, at $69. You could direct message him.
We were both pretty close.
You can direct message him for $9.99. And he has cameo calls. Jake Busey isn't using cameo calls yet. Let them know if you're interested in a one-on-one video call.
Weird.
Now I'm only thinking about the pancreatitis guy. To me, he's
And
like
that
the
guy
stand
is-
to Jake Busey's Eminem.
That guy is obviously requesting a cameo call.
Yeah, keeps requesting cameo calls just to talk about it.
Please, let's share pancreatitis stories. I have stones I can't pass.
And honestly, his looks now, he looks like a dude that would be in Sons of Anarchy.
Oh, really?
Weird.
Yeah.
Has he got like long hair and a beard?
Long, kind of, sort of long beard, but like, I'll screenshot it. Hold on.
Well, he's probably been holed up in quarantine, so.
Yeah, he looks great. Like, I'm not even saying he doesn't look great. He looks great for being Gary Busey's son. He looks fantastic.
Let's see this. Oh yeah, he looks good.
Right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I could see him in Sons of Anarchy. You're right. Anyway, $69. Yeah, that's a cameo. Yes, like anybody who charges $69, it's hilarious.
Yes. It's hilarious. It's the sex number. And very relevant to this episode.
That's true. Very true.
Yeah, I say yes. Because, like you said, entertaining videos, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So if you're a Jake Busey fan, and he's been in enough sort of genre-y things that he probably has a nice little cult following. I think, I think it's worth it.
Oh, yeah. I like him, so it's worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good job, Jake Busey. Good.
You got our
picking.
stamp of approval.
Yeah. Go if you like. If you would like to hear more about his pancreatitis, go order another cameo.
Now I know you're just a cameo. Now I know you're just a cameo.
Just keep getting a bunch of people asking him about it. He's like, what the fuck? Okay, film run, walk or crawl. I will start. It is a film run for me, because I chose it. And like I said, one of my favorite movies. Fantastic performances, Cronenberg's God. Tim.
Cronenberg's God? Is that what you said?
Cronenberg is God.
Cronenberg's a god.
Oh, okay. Sure. I wouldn't go that far. But it is a film run for me. I agree. I think it's great. I wouldn't put it in my top 220 movies like you would, but it is still really
Of
good.
the 21st century.
Of the 21st century. Sure.
Well, yeah, because you've got spots for Dan in real life already slotted in. Much better little girl storyline to that.
That's true.
Jesus.
But yeah, still go watch it. It's great. Incha?
I'm a film walk. I liked it in some parts.
Gee, this film walk after you just shit on it for 58 minutes?
Well, I'm not.
no.
I was entertained at some points, but I'm not gonna like completely write it off. I think I would watch it again and be like, oh, I'm going to give this the gravitas that it needs, I guess, or whatever. So I'm not writing it off immediately. I think that there are some great parts in it that I would like to revisit, and there's I really liked William Hurt and Ed Harris, so I definitely want to watch it again for them. But for right now, it's just a film walk.
It is funny when you were saying, like, you cut it down to just the sex scenes, just the confrontation with Ed Harris outside, and then just the ending with William Hurt. That's got to be half the movie. That has to be half of the runtime. Okay, so that was a split decision. Recommendations.
We don't do that here.
Yeah, we do.
Go ahead.
Yeah, every other Cronenberg movie. Specifically, Eastern Promises, which he did after this one, which also stars Viggo Mortensen. And he has a butt-naked fight in a bathhouse with another guy.
You see his hog in that one, too?
Yeah, absolutely. He hangs his hog in that, too.
I've never seen Eastern Promises yet.
Oh, it's really good. You'd like it, actually. Angel?
Oh, if you want movies that are like the same vibe as this, but better in my opinion only. No Country for Old Men, The Devil in the Blue Dress, Killing Them Softly, and a much better movie with a hitman, all the John Wicks.
I thought you were gonna say Hitman.
That movie's garbage.
So bad.
Yeah.
Tim?
If you want to see Stephen McHattie again, you can watch Watchmen.
And Come to Daddy.
Yeah.
He plays the first Night Owl in that movie. And if you want to see a movie about someone who has to take a new identity after screwing with the mob, you can watch Sister Act.
That is a great movie. I was like, in my head, as you were talking, you were like, if you want to watch a movie about somebody who has to take another identity, I was like, please don't say Santa Claus, please don't say Santa Claus.
Even
Sister
more
Act
specific.
rules. Sister Act rules, yeah.
Yeah. Oddly similar storyline.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, not really, but yeah. Someone on the run for the mob. So it's Inchapick next week, right?
It is, yes.
Let's find out if it's going to be a classic one.
It is.
Oh, God.
No, but I think, actually, Tim, you might like this one. I don't know yet, and I don't even remember if I even picked it, but VFW, did I pick that at all?
What do you mean pick it?
Did I pick that for Film Runners at all?
No, we've never done that.
Oh,
before.
okay, so I'm
me.
picking it for Film Runners. I'm picking VFW by Joe Begos.
VFW.
Yeah.
I was so confused at first when you were like, the movie I pick, well, I'm not sure if I picked it. I was like, what are you talking about?
Because I know I've talked about it with people, but I'm like, I'm not sure if I talked about it with like Michael or Tim.
I do remember seeing the poster, so you must have told me about it at one point, or else I would never have looked up this movie ever. So.
Okay, great.
Yeah, that'll
but
be
I don't know.
interesting.
I don't know anything about it.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I've seen it.
That was my favorite movie of last year or 2 years ago.
Really? It's I think 2 years ago, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But
2019.
Interesting. That'll be an interesting one. I have no idea what Tim's opinion will be. I have a pretty good idea.
Find out next week.
Ooh. No, we're not ending like that. That's silly. Say something else.
Tune in next time, campers.
I'll just cut it.
Anything to say before I blow your brains out, you miserable prick.
I should have killed you back in Philly.
Yeah, Joey. You should have.